Yeah, good morning, everyone of you. So, welcome to the fifth semester.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. So, I will be dealing with chemical technology 2. The subjects in this fifth semester is chemical technology 2, then mass transfer operations 1, chemical technology practical, and along with that one project will be there. I will be dealing this 4 in this current semester for you. Okay, then today the second hour is the CT2. So I just want to show you the nodes and everything how you can access through Teams. So you just go to Teams here. In the Teams, there will be the channels, a list of channels. In that one, chemical technology 2. Then go to the file section. Then here I have properly arranged everything. If you can see here, this is syllabus. The first one is here the syllabus PDF copy will be there. Then next one is YouTube links. I will discuss that one. Then here the assignments are there. So every time assignments I will be uploading here. So that assignments you have to take the copy and then you have to write that one, scan and send it to me via this email. Then old question papers. Okay, some of the old question papers for the CT2 I have given in this folder. You can see in this one. You just go into that one. So there will be a PDF file. In this PDF file, there will be a lot of old question papers will be there. So, okay, you just go through these old question papers also to see how the pattern will be there, how the questions will be asked, and everything. There are a lot of question papers are there. Then in the assignment section, for the sample, I have just uploaded only one assignment. Okay, I'm showing this one. So I will be giving 5 assignments for you. So from each unit, one assignment. So you can write and submit it to me. So here, for example, the assignment 1. By 2nd of September, you have to submit this assignment. So series of questions will be there. Whatever we are teaching in the class, I am teaching in the class, that will be same. The notes will be provided. From the notes, you just write with your own handwriting, scan it and send it to me before the due date. According to your convenience, there is a maximum 1 month time is there, you can do. Then next is a question bank will be there. So as previously I have provided for this IPC also here, chemical technology 2 question bank. In this question bank, you see from unit 1, what are the probable questions, most probable questions you are getting from this unit will be given here. So the most probable questions that are expected from this particular unit will be given here. For example, this is the unit 1, which is titled as nuclear materials, explosives and propellants. Then the short answers, then long answers are arranged. And out of this 13 answers, when you just write down in the assignments, so from this among these questions only, the question may be in the different format, but the logic will be same. The answering logic will be same. Whatever you are writing in the assignment, that you have to use and you just reproduce there. The next one is unit 2, which is oil, soap, glycerin and detergent industry. In this also short answer questions are there. So then after short answer questions, there will be a series of long answer questions. Just when you learn, when you try to of notebook also provided in that one. So when you learn that one, you can answer any type of question from this unit. Okay, just the foremost is you just have to practice that one before the exam. So for that only I have given assignments. So from unit 3, it is about microbiology. The list of probable short answer questions are there here and long answer questions are also given here. You can go through this one. The next is unit 4, which is pulp and paper industry. In this also short answers and long answer questions. Most probable long and short answer questions are given. Then the last unit will be unit 5, which is food industry, corrosion and its prevention. So the short answers and the long answers are given here. So you can go through this one to just revise the previous old question papers. You just go to old question papers. From that one, you can easily can see what are the most probable questions you can expect from this one. What is the format of the questions? So this one assignments is every time I will make you alert in the class that assignment I have been uploaded. So assignment 1 I already uploaded in the assignment section. You can start writing once the classes has been started officially. Then the old question papers, for you to make you thorough, the old question papers has been provided. From this old question papers, the format of questions, how the questions will be asked, you can come to know. Then question bank will be there to guide you what type of questions and what type of exhaustive and most probable questions you may encounter in this particular subject. You can see in this one. The next folder is a unit 1. In this unit 1, right now I have only arranged the notes, okay, scanned copy of a notes. Okay, after completion of this particular unit, I will be uploading you with PPT also, PDF copy of the PPT. So after completion of each unit, in the each same folder, you can find out the PDF copy of this PPT. Okay, this is from your seniors, okay, super senior. So their notebook, this is, the handwriting is good. You can go through this one. What type of questions? It has been properly arranged in this one. So you can try to learn and copy down in your notes. Okay, that will be very much good if you copy down in your notes, because I am not there to supervise you. There is no physical classes. You just maintain your integrity, maintain your sincerity, and just keep it in notes for every subject, individual notes. Then try to write the notes. If you write notes, it will be very easy to answer in the end exam. If you are not writing your notes, it is very hard to answer your questions in the end exam. Okay, and so these are the first unit. What are the various topics are there in the first unit? I have written clearly here. You can see from this one. Or otherwise, if you don't want to follow this notebook, you just try to prepare your own notebook using a Dryden. Okay, chemical technology. Using Dryden textbook also I will tell you. So Dryden's textbook, you might be aware of this Dryden textbook in your CT1 also. So you can refer that one Dryden textbook and just prepare your own notes. Or otherwise this is enough. Whatever the portion which is provided in this notes, it is enough for you. Okay, similarly for the unit 2 also I have uploaded. Only the notebooks I have uploaded here. Okay, but after completion of each unit, I will be uploading the individual PPT. For example, after completion of second unit, the PPT, PDF copy of the PPT we can find in the same folder. Okay, for each unit I have uploaded. The next is a syllabus we will discuss in detail. What are the portion which is there for your CT2. Yeah. Then this is chemical technology 2. You may be aware of this chemical technology 1. Why? Because you have already learned that chemical technology 1 in the previous semester. So objective of this course is this paper deals with the natural product production units, which gives idea about how to operate these units, major engineering problems encountered with, and also utilization and storage of these products safely. So various unit operations, unit processes are arranged in a series manner. So that flow sheet entirely you will going to learn, and what type of major engineering problems in operating that plant we will be discussing more here. What are its advantages, disadvantages, what are the product uses, how can we store products safely, okay, how to handle raw materials, everything we will be discussing in detail in this chemical technology 2 course. Then outcomes will be, whenever you are just qualifying in this course, you may be aware of all these facts. What is the nuclear materials, you can answer. Then natural product industries like soaps, detergents, oils industry, everything you can be aware of. What type of processes which are going to take place in that particular industry. Then you can able to describe the microwave, biotechnology, isolation, cultivation and growth of microorganisms. Various microorganisms we can categorize into eukaryotes, prokaryotes. So that eukaryotes, what are these eukaryotes, what are these prokaryotes, what are their sizes, okay, what are their nature, what is their characteristics, everything you are going to learn in the third unit. So from that one you can able to know what type of microorganisms are involved. Why? Because microorganisms are inevitable in our life. Everywhere microorganism is there. In our bare hand also microorganism is there. That we are going to discuss in the unit 3 in detail. Then next one, how to manufacture a paper using a pulp, using a raw sources like a wood or a recycled paper, how to manufacture that one. Entirely pulp and paper industry you will be knowing this one. And at last, you will be knowing what is the food industry, what type of food processing operations are there, what type of transport operations are there in the food processing industry or the food industry. Then also in this same unit, you will be learning about the corrosion. Okay, what is the corrosion? What are the two types of corrosion? What is the dry corrosion? What is the wet corrosion? Then you will be learning about what are the prevention criteria. Okay, what are the preventive actions are there in order to lower the corrosion tendency. Everything you may be learning in this unit 5. So the unit 1, if you see the portion, so this is the nuclear materials and explosions and propellants. This is. So in the nuclear materials, first topic is the nuclear raw materials, which will be a general introduction will be provided. What are the nuclear materials? What are the propellants? What are the various explosives are there? What is high explosive? What is the low explosives? Okay, what are the propellants for the rocket manufacturing or the rocket flying and everything? We'll be discussing this one. So nuclear raw materials, what type of raw materials are there? Okay, fissionable materials, fusion materials, fission materials, everything we'll be discussing here. Then why we have to study, the reasons for study of nuclear energy. So energy spectrum for India. So what are the various nuclear plants are there in India, where they are located, everything in detail you are going to see here. Then economic justification for nuclear power. So why we have to go apart from this conventional, so like hydro power or this steam power plants, everything power plants are there, coal fired power plants. Okay, these are the conventional power plants. Okay, apart from this, what are the advantages of nuclear power over this conventional plants like a coal fired, steam fired, or the hydrothermal power generation, everything. We are going to see the differences between them, and quickly we are going to revise that. What are the economic benefits? Okay, what is the cost complications, cost implications in the nuclear power plant? What are the cost implications in the conventional power plants? Then we will justify why we are going for these nuclear power plants. The next topic is nuclear agro-industrial complex. So this is popularly known as a nuplex, we will say. So nuclear agro-industrial complex. In this complex, what happens? The agriculture fields, pesticide manufacturing industry, fertilizer industry, together with this cultivation, okay, crops and cultivations, power generation, everything will be clubbed in a complex setup. So that's why it is called as a nuplex, nuclear agro-industrial complex. So in order to make it self-sufficient, okay, any type of setup, all the industries in a single setup will be arranged in order to make them self-sufficient. The product which is coming from the one unit or the byproduct which is coming from the one unit will be utilized by the other industry or other unit. Then they will be manufacturing a new product. For example, whatever in the nuclear power generation, whatever the waste which is generated will be used by some other industry. Whatever the steam generated will be used for electricity generation. Whatever the water which is coming will be used for cultivation purposes. Whatever this salts which are using from the sea water, which are getting from the sea water, that will be used to manufacture this NPK fertilizers, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium fertilizers. So that fertilizer, pesticide industry, power generation, crop production, everything will be arranged in a single complex unit. That is called as a nuplex. Then next one is energy via nuclear fission reaction. So there is a fissionable reaction and fusion reaction. What is the difference between fusion and fission? You will be knowing about in detail. What type of, whether it's a fission or we are using, or fusion we are using in the nuclear power plant, we are going to discuss in detail. Energy via nuclear fission reactions. Then what is the role of chemical engineering, nuclear engineering? Okay, nuclear power generation unit. What is the role of chemical engineering will be played there? We will be discussing in detail. That is also very most important questions. Many times they are asking in the world question papers. Then important components of a nuclear fission reactor. So what are the various important components? Like a reactor will be there, the structural components will be there, moderator will be there, coolants will be there. So there are 5 different types of components will be there. So here if you see in detail we will discuss this one. First one is a fuel, whether it's a fertile fuel or a fission fuel. Then after that one, it will be structural components like a moderator, absorbent, coolant, the overall fuel cycle. Entirely we are going to discuss here. Then method of production. Okay, method of this production of nuclear fuels. Okay, from that one there are 3 steps, which is first one is concentration. Usually in the mining industry, whatever the nuclear fuel or like a uranium or thorium, okay, plutonium, all these are the trace elements. Okay, very trace elements, they will be found in the earth. Okay, they will be found in the soil and everything. That trace elements means very low quantity. To use them, to make them in a large use of industrial plant, we have to concentrate them. So that is called as a concentration of a nuclear energy or a nuclear raw material. Then purification. Okay, what are the off materials are there that we have to separate from the useful materials? Then we have to convert that ore into the fission to the fertile to the fission fuels. Okay, in the fertile fuel, what happens? We can that are called as the secondary fuels, whereas fission fuels are the primary fuels. Fission fuels directly we can use in the nuclear power plant, whereas fertile fuel we have to convert them into the fission fuels. So that is called as a conversion. So before giving the raw material to the nuclear power plant, we have to follow the three steps. One is a concentration of the ore, then purification of the ore, and then conversion of ore to the fission to fertile to the fission. So this will be labeled as a part 1. So nuclear materials will be part 1 of the unit 1. Then next one will be explosion and propellants. This is also unit 1 only, but this is a part B. Okay, until here you have learned what is the importance of nuclear energy, then what are the role of chemical engineer in the nuclear energy, what type of reactions will be involved, what type of components will be involved in the nuclear energy generation, then what type of methods which are there for the production of nuclear energy. We will be discussing in this part 1. After discussion of part 1, part B will be this explosion and propellants. So explosives, we know in the mining industry we will be using lot of explosives. In the rocket propellants, okay, there we will call as a low explosives. So the low explosives will be used in the rocket industry. So all these various types of explosions and propellants we will be discussing. What is the difference between this explosives, propellants we will be discussing in detail in the part B of this unit 1. Then the first topic will be energy system for airspace vehicles. So what are the airspace vehicles? Like rockets, whatever we are using now. So that is called as a airspace vehicles. What are the various energy systems which are involved? Like a nuclear energy system, solid energy system, liquid energy system, hybrid energy system. Okay, there are many energy systems out there. Depending on their specific impulse, that systems will be classified. Okay, we will say that as a specific impulse. Okay, kg of thrust. Okay, kg of thrust will be which will be produced by burning kg of any fuel or any explosion is known as the specific impulse. That we will be discussing in detail. Depending on the specific impulse, we will be classifying various energy systems. So that energy systems we are going to see. Then introduction. So a brief introduction about the propellant fundamentals. So how the rocket will be just flying from the ground to the next probable distance, how it is flying, what making it to fly, what is thrust, what is specific impulse. All this we are going to discuss the basic concepts of rocket flying and everything. Then classification of chemicals, chemical energy system. So there are many energy systems are there that we are seeing here classifications. 5 to 6 major energy systems are there. Out of this one, we are studying in detail about the chemical energy system. So what are the basic requirements of chemical energy systems? What is the solid propellants? What is liquid propellants? What are the hybrid propellants? What are various different types of propellants? Okay, what are their capacities? Where we can use? What type of rocket will employ the solid propellant? What type of rocket will employ the liquid propellant? What type of rocket will employ the hybrid propellant? We will be seeing in detail in this one. Then next one is a basic consideration in developing high performance chemical propellant system, like a burning rate control. Okay, burning. See, whenever something has been burned, okay, whenever it is burning in one type of setup, so it will be easily burned and energy produced will be very low. Okay, there are two types of burning rates are there. So what are these two types of burning rates? How through burning rate we can obtain the maximum capacity of heat from that particular burning rate. We will be seeing in detail in this burning rate control. Then handling, storage, utilization of propellants. How to handle them? How to store the propellants? Why? Because they are very explosive, no? So we have to store them very safely. We have to handle them very safely. So what are the safety requirements to handle them? We will be seeing in detail. Then nuclear propulsion system. So high energy chemicals. What are the high energy chemicals? Like hydrazine, boron compounds or boranes we will call. So hydrazine and boranes are the high energy chemicals. So how they are manufactured? What is the manufacturing criteria for hydrazine? What is the manufacturing criteria for the boron hydrogen compounds? They are popularly known as boranes, BORANES, boranes. So that the two flow sheets we will be going to see in the last part of your unit 1. Then this unit 1 is very long. so you have to bear with that one. You need to have a much patience. Okay, unit 1 is very long. Then unit 2 is very simple. Then next one is the natural product industry. So what are the natural products we are going to discuss here? Only oil, soaps, detergent, glycerin, and various edible oils. So it will be coming into the category of oils. Only the 4 segments will be there. We can preciously say only 3 segments are there in this unit 2, which is oils. First part is oils. Then next part is soap. Then detergent. So whenever you are manufacturing a soap, whenever you are this one manufacturing this soap, you will be a byproduct will be a glycerin. Whenever you are manufacturing a oil, there will be edible and non-edible oil. Edible means popularly known as they are eatable oils. Non-edible means they are not at all eatable oils. We don't utilize them in our domestic purpose or our consumption purpose. Then topic will be chemical composition and physical properties of fats and oils. What is the difference between fats and oils? We come to know what are the various composition differences. What are the physical characteristics? The fat will be at room temperature. Fat will be a solid. Okay, at room temperature, oils will be a liquid. You can take the example of vanaspati, dalda. We will say so. Dalda and oil at room temperature, dalda will be in a solid form. At normal room temperature, what happens? Oil will be in a liquid form. Then consumption pattern. What are the various consumption patterns for these oils and fats? Okay, various types of fats and oils available. What are the edible sources? What are the non-edible sources? What are the vegetable oil sources? Vegetable sources means seeds. From seeds, oils, how we can extract. Or from animals, like animal fat. Okay, from the beef fat. Okay, then goat or sheep, lamb, whatever are there, chicken fat, we can obtain oil also, that one. Popularly, those are known as non-edible oils. So we'll be seeing in detail what are the major difference between vegetable sources and animal sources of extracting the oil. Then the next one, the major flow sheet will be there. That flow sheet will be the how to extract the oil from the oil seeds. So end uses methods of extraction of vegetable oil. So there are 3 types of methods will be there. One is a mechanical, 2 types of methods will be there. One is a mechanical setup. Only the oil seeds will be pressed. Okay, using the pressing mechanism, we can obtain a oil. Then next one is solvent extraction using some petroleum cut fractions like hexane. Okay, hexane like fractions or petroleum cut fractions. As a solvent, we can extract a maximum amount of oil from the oil seeds. So one flow sheet will be there. So that flow sheet we are going to discuss. In the same flow sheet, the mechanical operation will be there and also the solvent extraction operation will be there. Then next, the major flow sheet will be the hydrogenation of oil. How we have to hydrogenate oil? Why to hydrogenate this oil? Okay, what is the importance of double bond? What is the importance of single bond? Okay, how to remove that, convert that double bond to the single bond? What are its uses? Okay, how to rise the melting point of the oil? How to rise the shelf life of the oil? So we will be seeing in detail in the hydrogenation of oils. So what are the raw materials required for the hydrogenation of oils? So this will be one flow sheet. Okay, the same flow sheet we will be seeing the major engineering problems. So in the first part, entirely the oil. There are only two flow sheets will be there. One flow sheet is extraction of oil from the oil seeds. Then next flow sheet will be the hydrogenation of oil. So this two flow sheets are involved in the part A of this unit 2. The next is the part B of unit 2, which is soaps and detergents. So in the soaps and detergents, here also 2 flow sheets will be there. Two flow sheets will be there. In these 2 flow sheets, one is for the detergent, one is for the soap. That's it. So overall, only the 4 flow sheets will be there for this unit 2. Whereas in the previous unit 1, there are more than 8 flow sheets something will be there. Okay, compared to that one, and the general questions will also be there in the unit 1. But here, the most straightforward questions like a flow sheet, draw a flow sheet and explain the flow sheet, then what are the advantages and disadvantages, what are the major engineering problems. Only 4 sheets are there in the flow sheets are there in the unit 2. Then soaps and detergents, the introduction about what are the various cleansing components, what is the difference between soaps and what is the difference between detergent. What are the various types of cleansing components are there, then ionic, nanionic, cationic, everything will be discussing in detail. Then detergent builders, what are the various builders? Okay, the maximum amount of detergents will be occupied by this builders. So that we are going to discuss. Then method of soap manufacturing, or there are two methods will be there for this one. One is two steps will be there. One is oil has to split into individual fatty acids. That is called as a hydrolysis process. Then after splitting the oil into oil triglycerides into the free fatty acids, that fatty acids will be converted to the soaps. Okay, saponification process we will say. So addition of alkali to that one, to that fatty acid. Then the reference flow sheet we are going to discuss, and various chemical reactions for the hydrolysis, one chemical reaction for the saponification, one chemical reaction will be there. Then process description we are going to discuss in detail. They are major engineering problems. Then next one is the methods of detergent manufacturing. Okay, sulfated fatty alcohol, sodium reduction of coconut oil, sulfation of fatty alcohols. Okay, these are the various types of detergents. Okay, sulfated fatty alcohols is one type, alkyl aryl sulfonates. Okay, this is one type of detergents. Okay, all these detergents we are going to see, and detergent versus soap. So major differences between them. And what is the natural and synthetic glycerin? So natural glycerin can be obtained during the manufacture of a soap. Okay, whereas the synthetic glycerin we have to obtain from the raw materials, petroleum raw materials. So that we are going to see in detail here. So that is the unit 2 syllabus. Then unit 3 will be entirely different from the unit 1 and unit 2 and unit 4 and unit 5 also. It is completely different. Okay, the microbiology concept here. So in this biotechnology, we will be learning about two different types of microorganisms. Majorly, every microorganism can be classified into two types. One is the eukaryotes and next one is the prokaryotes. What are the major difference between size difference you can say, characteristics difference we can say. So there are many differences between eukaryotes and prokaryotes we are going to see. Then what are the general characteristics of and their applications of various microorganisms like a protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria and virus, everything we are going to see their general characteristics as well as their applications. And next one is isolation, cultivation and growth of microorganisms. So first we have to isolate them. For example, Salmonella bacteria, or we can say this Escherichia coli bacteria. So in the Salmonella bacteria, what we say, when you take some egg, okay, for example, egg is there. On top of eggshell, what happens? There will be some Salmonella bacteria. Okay, that bacteria will be usually associated in our gut also it will be there. Okay, stomach also it will be there. So salmonella bacteria. We want the n number of salmonella bacteria. What we have to do first one? First one we have to identify where that bacteria is located. After locating that bacteria, we have to extract it. Okay, we have to isolate. That is called as isolation. After isolating that one, we have to offer some food to that bacteria, that virus. Okay, whenever that bacteria or virus or something is giving some food, okay, they will be consuming that food. Okay, after consuming that food, they will be growing, they will be multiplying. So that is called as a cultivation. Okay, then after that one, we have to purify that one. Okay, isolation means we have to take one bacteria from the population, majority population of bacteria. Then from that bacteria, we have to provide some food to them. After providing a food, it will be growing in size, it will be growing in a number. Then we can have a n number of population of the bacteria. So that bacteria will have a many application in the food manufacturing. Okay, in the disease control also we can use. There are many applications we will see in detail. Then growth of microorganisms. There are three stages for the growth of microorganisms. That three stages we will be seeing, that is called as a growth curve. Okay, initial stage, then three stages will be there. We will be discussing in detail. Then fermentation. What is the importance of fermentation? Or how to produce the industrial alcohol? We will be discussing here. Fermentation you might have seen in the 10th class onwards. So here also the same type of setup will be there. So that we will be discussing in detail. Then microorganisms as a single cell protein and its applications. So various single cell proteins will be there. So that we will be discussing in detail. Then biogas production. Okay, a simple flow sheet will be there for the biogas production. So we will be discussing. Then biochemical changes taking place during the biogas production. So there are many stages in this biogas production like methanation. So what is the biogas? Biogas is nothing but your natural gas. So natural gas, obviously the maximum percentage of natural gas will be occupied by your methane. So how do we get methane? By just breaking down of these microorganisms. So microorganisms will consume the waste, okay, like animal dung, okay, that will be consuming that one and it will be releasing some gas. So that is gas called as a methane gas, methanation process. So that we will be seeing in detail in this one. Then unit 4 will be the pulp and paper industry. So in the pulp and paper industry, what are the various raw materials? Okay, for example, the raw material will be one wood. Okay, wood will be the raw material. If you see this recycled paper or something will be the auxiliary raw material for the paper industry. So after getting this wood, we have to send them into the digestion unit. There, the digestion unit, we have to use many types of chemicals. So that will be called, that chemicals will be called as a black liquor, white liquor, green liquor. So that liquors will be there. So that wood will be dissolved or that wood will be digested or cooked using some chemicals. After cooking that one, a pulp type of material will be obtained. Okay, whenever you are preparing some juice, so what happens? The juice liquid will be coming out and the pulp. Okay, like this type of setup will be there in the pulp industry. So the maximum amount of lignin composition will be separated in the pulp manufacturing, and whereas the cellulose from the wood or some bamboo or something else, so that cellulose will be retained there. So that is called as a pulp. So after that formation of that pulp, it will be arranged in a mat structure. So that is called as a paper. So the first part will be the pulp industry, the next part will be the paper industry. So together we will call as a pulp and paper industry. Usually in the large integrated pulp and paper industry, this two will be clubbed up. But majority of this pulp and paper industry will be two different industry. One industry will manufacture a pulp and that will be transported to the some other industry that will be manufacturing a paper. So that will be just converted into a mat structure. So in the large plants like ITC, okay, ITC Bhadrachalam, okay, that will be the big integrated plant, and Sirpur paper mills will be the big integrated plants. They will be containing pulp as well as paper industry. Then Sirpur paper mills, that is a big integrated plant. They will be containing pulp and paper industry together. So, okay, they are only the manufacturer of pulp and also they are only the manufacturer of paper also. So that we are going to see in the two sections. One is the introduction about various raw materials which are there, hardwood, softwood, everything we are going to see in the cellulose raw materials. Then pulp definition. What is the pulp? Okay, how can we manufacture the pulp and everything? We are going to see methods to manufacture the pulp. And there are two types of processes will be there to manufacture a pulp. One is a sulfide process we will say. Then next one is a sulfate process we will say. So majority, the large emphasis will be played on the this sulfate process. So we are going to see this sulfate process in detail. Then after cooking that particular raw material for wood or something else, so whatever the liquor used in the cooking of that particular wood material will be called as a white liquor. So after that, many chemicals will be deposited into that white liquor. So that will be called as a black liquor. So this black liquor will be having many types of chemicals that will be that can be used for different purposes. So chemicals recovery from the black liquor is also one type of major flow sheet. So first flow sheet will be this sulfate process. The next flow sheet will be the chemical recovery from the black liquor. The next one is the bleaching of pulp. Okay, why do we have to bleach that pulp? Usually, whenever we are manufacturing a paper, the paper will be looking as a brownish, okay, brown color paper. So that brown color paper, how do we obtain this white color paper? By just offering some bleaching agent, some oxidizing agent, like a chlorination, okay, like ozonation. Okay, during that process, the this brown paper will be converted into a white paper. So that is called as a bleaching of pulp. Then paper production. So after obtaining the pulp, so that will be arranged into a series of mat structure. So from that series of mat structure, we will be obtaining a full dried paper. So what is the definition of a paper? Then what type of different paper products will be there? Like a cardboard is one type of paper product. Like A4 sheets is one type of paper product. Like packing paper, wrapping paper is one type of paper products. You will see there are many types of paper products. Then raw materials required for paper manufacturing. So the major raw material is this one, pulp only. So after that one, pulp, we have to employ some water, some sizing agent, okay, in order to get a proper size of a paper. Some sizing agents will be there, okay, some alum collective compositions will be used. So what are the various types of raw materials for the manufacture of paper? We will going to see here also. One type of major flow sheet will be there, that is a series of Frontier machine, four drainer machine we will call. So that four drainer machine will be having a series of rolls. Okay, in that series of rolls, we will be passing the pulp and a dried paper we can encounter like our A4 sheets. So the flow sheets will be, one is a sulfate process flow sheet, then liquor treatment one flow sheet, and here the paper flow sheet. So three flow sheets will be there. in this unit 4. So small unit this is. Then the last one is unit 5, which is food industry as well as the corrosion prevention industry. So the first part of your unit 5 is food industry. Why we have to study about this food industry? The reason to study and develop the food industry. So the majority of fast moving consumer goods, okay, FMCG we will call like Patanjali products. Okay, this has been emerged after 2014. Patanjali products. Earlier there will be ITC products, ITC biscuits, whatever we are using this Good Day biscuits and everything that will be manufactured by ITC. Then Britannia, Marigold, everything. These are the biscuits industry. These are all the processed foods. Okay, like a pasta, whatever we are eating, like a burgers, whatever you are using. So all these are the processed foods. So processed food industry is very much emphasis. This has been gained much emphasis in the recent years. Why? Because there is a lot of urbanization. Due to this urbanization, majority of people are moving towards the quick food, fast foods. Okay, we don't have any time to cook our own food. Okay, we will be looking at some restaurants, we will be looking at some quick or ready to eat foods. Okay, ready to eat noodles. Okay, how this Maggie 2 minutes noodles and everything, why it is obtained? So because of this fast moving consumer goods, okay, because of this development of this fast moving consumer goods, so people don't have time to cook themselves, to cut the vegetables, to cut everything. Okay, they want everything quickly ready. By 2 minutes everything will be ready. Why? Because in our recent cosmopolitan city, Hyderabad is a cosmopolitan city, like both husband and wife, they are working. Okay, they are working people, they don't have any time to cook for themselves. So they will be looking at various alternatives so that they will be eating a healthy foods like a processed foods. So processed food industry is having a vast many advantages and many development factors in our India. So that factors we will be discussing in detail in the reasons to study and develop the food industry. Then food storage. So how do we store our food? Okay, before harvesting. Okay, see, before harvesting means whenever some crop is there, like maize. Okay, all this maize, whatever the rice and everything is there. So whenever the farmer has been cut down, that has to be stored without any spoilage, without any degradation. We have to store them. So post harvesting and pre harvesting. After harvesting, we have to see. After post harvesting is post processing. Okay, after processing food means some suitable product has been manufactured. Pre-processing means it has been in a raw material stage. So what are the various techniques which are available to store them? What are the various means which are available to transport them? What are the various means like chemical means or some additives? Okay, cold storages and everything. This will be coming under transportation and the preservation. Then food storage and transportation. What are the various engineering aspects which are involved in the cold storage designs? Okay, nowadays in the earlier days also there is a these are the very popular cold storages. Why? Because the farmer has to sell that particular harvest to some middleman or to some they have to transport into some market before getting a minimum crop price. Okay, minimum crop price or minimum support price, MSP we will call that one. So minimum before getting that MSP, so the farmer will be storing their harvest into some cold storages. So that cold storage design is also very important aspect in our CT2 course. Then dairy industry, like pasteurization of milk. High temperature, short period of time, heating of the milk is called as a pasteurization. Louis Pasteur has been developed. The scientist called Louis Pasteur has been developed this process. Whatever the milk products, milk packets we are getting now, that is called as a pasteurized milk. So how to pasteurize that milk? High temperature, short period of time technique. It is called as a pasteurization. In detail, we will see the pasteurization of milk here. Then food irradiation. So what is the food irradiation? How that irradiation will be happen? Okay, what is the role of irradiation in killing the microorganisms, which is spoilage of causing spoilage of food? So what are the various application of this food irradiation? We will be seeing in detail here. Then food additives. Okay, what are the various types of additives we will add that one. If you see any type of processed food, for example biscuit packet you take, so for example some pasta packet, from noodles packet, something you take, there will be some code word like E101, E102 or E103. There will be some code words. why that code words will be there? They don't want to reveal their trade secret. Okay, because of that, there will be code word. Whenever you verify with the food control industry or food controlling department, so they will be knowing clearly what is this code word is 101, E102. There will be some specific scientific name behind that one. Why? Because in order to preserve a food for the long period of time, we will be adding some additives to that one. Okay, what are the various additives are there? What are the types and what are the applications of that one? Without any additives addition, we cannot preserve that food. For example, you can take this biscuits as well. When you home cook your biscuits, it will be spoiled in a minimum period of time. Whenever you purchase some food, purchase some biscuits from the outer side, there will be some 6 months expiry date, something. How they can enlarge this shelf life? By adding some suitable component. Okay, that is called as a food additives. We will be studying in detail about food additives here. Then corrosion and its prevention. The part B of unit 5 will be corrosion and its prevention. So there are two types of corrosions will be there. One is a wet corrosion, one is a dry corrosion. What is the mechanism of this wet and dry corrosion? We will be seeing in detail. Then we come to know about what different types of corrosions here. Okay, then after knowing the different types of corrosion, what are the prevention measures we have to take? Okay, what are the prevention measures we have to take in controlling that corrosion? Why? Because the majority of metal processing industry, so every industry, marine industry will be losing their metals due to this corrosion. Okay, largely 60% will be scrapped yearly. The scrapping will be very high in the marine processing industry, in the chemical industry because of this corrosion. Okay, we have to know as a chemical engineers, we have to know what type of various techniques, what type of various forms of corrosions are there, how to prevent them. Okay, is playing a very important role here. Then the textbook, prescribed textbook for this CT2 will be the Outlines of Chemical Technology by the Charles E. Dryden. So this Dryden will be your prescribed book. Most preferably the second edition you can take, or the advanced edition also you can take. Thus the editors for this book will be the M. Gopal Rao and Marshall City. So this textbook I hope you are aware of earlier also. Why? Because you have already studied Chemical Technology 1. So the same books we will be using here. Then if you want anything extra additional materials, you can study from this Streaves. Okay, Streaves are Nervous and Brink Joseph, A Chemical Process Industries. So this textbook is enough for your syllabus, but if you want anything external, you can refer to this book, or there are many for the microbiology unit 3. Okay, unit 3 will not be there in your this Dryden book, microbiology. So for that one, you have to refer this one, Pelzer, Reid and Chan, Microbiology, published by Tata McGraw-Hill Publishing House. Then next one, Casida Industrial Microbiology, published by Tata McGraw-Hill Publications. So this you can use, these two textbooks you can use for this unit 3. Then for this unit 5, this corrosion and its prevention, unit 5 part B is also not there in your textbook. This one, Charles E. Dryden book. For that one, you have to refer this one, C. Kuriakose and J. Rajaram, Chemistry in Engineering and Technology, Volume 2, published by McGraw-Hill Publishing House. So these books you can use, or otherwise you can just follow the notebook. So whenever you are finding any time to go for the library, you just try to read. Okay, try to see how the what is the cover page of this books at least. Okay, I request you to see at least the cover page of this prescribed books, reference books, as well as the prescribed textbook, so that you can be aware what type of textbook material you are learning about. Okay, if you learn or not, I don't know. If you are going to learn from the textbook or not, I don't know. But I just request you to just see at least the cover book, what are the contents inside that book. Just have a look at that book. Okay, this one is the syllabus. If you have any doubt, or if you find anything difficult, okay, anything easy you want to discuss more, you can discuss in this one. Then, okay, last time when I am taking the same classes for your seniors, okay, same thing, I have uploaded the classes into YouTube. Okay, that you can take as a reference. If you find any difficulty, you can ask anytime to me if you have any doubts, or otherwise you can refer. Okay, this YouTube link, one PDF will be provided here. So that PDF, in that PDF clearly I have given various links for the different types of courses I have been offering here in the Layla Academy. just you go to that particular PDF and just click on that one. You can directly take it down to the YouTube link of that particular channel. Then you can study. Okay, you can just listen to that videos. Okay, I request you to please subscribe to this channels. Okay, value education you have already seen for this one. Then here the mass transfer operations 1 will be there. In this one, this is the channel. For chemical technology 2, the YouTube link for this channel is this one. Okay, you just double click on this one, so you will be directed towards this particular YouTube channel. Okay, before that you just download this one. So download link will be you can get here. Okay, you can download this one. Okay, just click on that one and try to download, and after downloading that one, okay, after downloading that one, so whatever you are interested, chemical technology 2, just double click on this one. Okay, clearly all the videos are there, all the PPTs, all the videos, whatever the last classes for your seniors, whatever I have taken, everything you can see in this particular course, in this particular YouTube channel. Okay, just go to this channel and try to subscribe, and then whatever the new videos I have just been adding to my YouTube channel, you will be seeing in this course. Okay, is that clear, the syllabus and everything? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. It's not nothing have been covered, but if you find any difficulty, what is the syllabus? Okay, in the syllabus, everything you can discuss with me. Feel free. Okay, I will be sharing only the knowledge. Okay, not making you fear anything. Just be friendly and feel free to ask any type of question, no matter. Okay, the final year, since you are there in the final year, please try to shape your career. Try to look for the various other alternatives. Try to learn the NPTEL courses. Try to learn the other means. Okay, try to attend the seminars. Try to attend some webinars at least. Okay, if not possible the seminars physically, try to attend some webinars so that you will be aware of various developments in the chemical engineering field. That will be very much essential right now. Why? Because in this pandemic you cannot be sitting isolated in your home. Only 4 hours are there. Apart from this 4 hours, 1 or 2 hours you make use for your professional development, for the next move of your career. Why? Because whenever you are passing out from here, okay, after 3rd year you will be passing out. If you don't have any opportunity, whether it's maybe a job or whether it's maybe a higher education, you don't have any opportunity means you are losing 1 year. Whenever you are losing 1 year means it's a loss in your academic year. That you needs to be accountable. Whenever the next employer, whoever employing you, they may be asking, they may be stressing you, what this 1 year you have done. So I request you not to waste your precious 1 year. Then try to make a habit of learning, lifelong learning, so that your next move will be very easy. Okay, otherwise you are losing 1 year means you need to be accountable for everything. Okay, for example, for the government jobs, okay, they will be asking you 1 year what you have done. You have to produce a gap certificate from the notary person. Okay, from the lawyer, you have to produce a gap certificate there. So not to go that much extent. So don't lose your 1 year, one academic year in clearing the subjects or something else. But I request you clear all the subjects on time and try to make your next move successful. Okay, anything else you want to discuss? Apart from this subjects also, everything you can discuss with me, no problem. Still time is there, 7 minutes. Just try to discuss. You try to just interact with me so that I will be feeling free with you. What happened? Everybody is sleeping. The syllabus discussion is that much boring.
No, sir.
Okay, and since this is the first class and the next 4th hour is also mine, so I will be taking the 4th hour. Then in the 4th hour, I will be same detailed syllabus and everything. I will be discussing in the mass transfer operations class in the 4th hour. So I hope you don't have any doubts. Then we will quickly wind up this class. Yes,
Sir, good morning, sir.
yes, Sultan. Good morning.
Sir, after this third year, what all companies will come to us for job, sir?
After this third year, your voice is breaking. Make it clear.
For jobs in interviews, sir, what more companies will come for us? Sir?
What will be the companies?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have to inquire with placement cell. I don't have any idea about that one. Or inquire with HOD at least. Okay, he may be knowing that one. Last time we got this ITC, as far as I know. ITC and Sirpur paper mills also they have got. Your seniors, super seniors maybe, Manikanta and Chaitanya have selected in the Sirpur paper mills. And apart from that, majority have went to granules.
What about the seniors, sir?
Seniors, one member has been selected in this one, South Indian Bank. Kamesh, you know, no? Kamesh, roll number 17. Okay, through campus only, he got into the South Indian Bank. It's a private bank, but very old bank, 1923 it has been started. Okay, it's a good bank. Through campus placement only, he went to that particular bank. Okay, chemical industry, I don't know, but placement officer, our placement officer will be sharing you whatever the whatever the placement opportunities which are there in our group. Okay, shortly we will be adding him to our group, DCT group. He will be discussing more. He will be sending various links that you have to apply and everything. Okay, most probably in the next 2 months or 3 months, you have to register for the placement in the college. Then you will get a clear idea. Some orientation programs will be there after that one. So list of industries which are going to come for the campus placements, or you have to go offline to their place, or a campus placement means on campus. So you have to come here and give on campus, and industry people will also be coming here. Or otherwise off campus means you have to go somewhere where they are offering from our college as a representative. You will be go there. You will be giving some written test or interview. There you will be getting the opportunities. Some placement officer will be sharing you. Shortly we will add him into our this WhatsApp group, DCT group. Okay, don't worry about that one. First, you just concentrate on clearing your subjects and the sharing knowledge. Okay, acquiring knowledge, disseminating knowledge. Then the opportunities will be very high. Okay, try to concentrate on the next move also, higher studies also. Okay, fix it now itself. Fix it. What is the placement? You have to go for the job. You want to go for the higher education. Okay, depending on that one, concentrate on the competitive exams. Okay, if you want to go for higher studies, then try to crack them. Okay, just look for the alternatives, higher alternatives like central universities, IITs, okay, ISERs, IISCRs, IISc, all these opportunities you just make use, and you try to frame your policies, frame your timetable accordingly. Okay, if you want any guidance, for the preparation of this JAM, okay, joint admission test, something like to enter into the IITs for the MSc program. So you just ask to Amal sir. He will be the better person to guide you in the JAM. Okay, I have only knowledge about the engineering field. Why? Because I just involved right from the diploma to PhD, all in the chemical engineering field. Our chemical engineering field entrance test will be different from the normal science background. So you just contact Amal sir. He will be the better guide for you to guide you towards the competitive exams. Those who want to prepare, you just inform him, prepare for the JAM. You just inform him beforehand, you want to prepare for the JAM. You just take some classes. He will be helping, most probably, he will be helping you to clear out that JAM examination, which is offered by IITs. After clearing that one, you will be entering for the MSc in the IITs. That will be very good move for you. Okay, Sultan.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, then if you don't have any doubts or anything else, we'll be wind up this class. Then thank you for listening.